What's going on, everyone? theBolderBoulder here. Today, I'm going to be presenting to you my final Galidor review. And today we'll be taking a look at Aquart. Before, I only had Aquart in box, which is really hard to come by, so I'm extremely glad that I have it. But I really wanted it loose as well, so I could provide you guys with the review. And later on, we'll take a look at the boxed figure, so that you guys can kind of get a look at it. You saw a little bit in my prior video, but we'll get into more detail in this one. And as for this particular figure, it's actually a representation of an entire species known as the Aquarts. And they are a tribal, reptilian-like people who originally lived on a lush jungle world of Arbo, but that realm was destroyed and conquered by Gorm. So, in return for the survival of his people, their leader, Caliphonic, swore his allegiance to Gorm. Now, they live underground and capture slaves for Gorm in return for moisture to survive. And the way they feed is through their hands, which is why this figure has a little suction cup feature, which we'll get to here in just a second. But first, I'd like to take a look at the box, just so you guys can get a good look at it. And there's a few funny things I noticed that are just there on the front of the box. So if we look at the box art for the figure, it's a little harder to tell here on the camera, but the whites of his eyes are actually blue in the photo, whereas they're white on the figure. The little dots that go along his head, sort of like that mohawk of sorts, yellow. They're orange on the figure. And then we look at the detail on the torso. All of these little patterns are pretty much the same, but they're all in actually different spots. You can kind of see even here on his chest. It goes right down pretty much the center of it. And on the box, the orange dots go around kind of where his collarbone would be. And then on the waist, it's all just the color the body was molded in, that dark red. But on the actual set, it is instead painted orange to match the rest of his body. Then when we move down to the feet, you can see there's yellow dots that are on top of the feet, but on the actual figure, they do not feature such details. And then up here on the top corner of the box, he has sort of glowing red eyes, which is different. And then in the background, you can see something that's familiar from the show, from the first few episodes. There's that giant rock structure some of them had to climb, it appears. And these pits right here, where the Aquart come in and come out of. And then there's just kind of an overview of the front of the box real quick. And from a side profile, we can see what looks to be the TDN module, which, as far as I'm aware, is a commonality between all of the carded Galidor sets. And then you guys would have seen this in the previous video, but I'll give another closer look. There's the Aquart being put into some weird form. It's hilarious, the back of these boxes. All the parts that come with the figure, the whole line at that time, and of course there's Mokar up there. And then on the lower portion, you can see arrows coming down from Aquart and Nick Deluxe, and it shows arrows then pointing to the center, kind of trying to inspire people to make their own creations, I suppose. So that's it for the packaging. Let's move on to the figure itself. Here are the big webbed feet. There's those dots that weren't colored in. And the two big toes. Although, like Tager, the foot articulation's not all that great. As you can see, side to side. Yeah, about the same movement. But that's not exactly a deal breaker. Now for the limbs, the super scaly looking limbs, they're pretty neat. Nice and simple, just molded in orange. Same with the upper. Not a whole lot going on right there, though the detailing is really nice and crisp. And if we kind of take a closer look at the torso, it's honestly pretty hard to tell at first. And I didn't even know this about the set till I actually got it, but all the shading under his abs and pecs is actually printed there in dark brown, as you can see, with all these little orange dots scattered around. They're even up on his chest, but they're kind of just randomized on his abs. And here's a good look at his back as well. A lot of good molded detail there. More of those little bump details up on his shoulders and along his spine. These guys must have some sort of underground gym to stay that bulky. Anyway, let's take a look at the arms. The upper arms are the same as the upper legs. And his lower arms are pretty similar to his lower legs, though his lower legs do have a more defined point on the top, whereas these are pretty even here. And the hands, they're actually really nice. I kind of wish they would have painted maybe the fingernails. That would have looked nice, but that's not a huge deal. And the other arm is exactly symmetrical. Now we'll take a look at his secondary left arm. The play feature with this is that the suction cup can be extended and retracted within the arm. No actual device on the back to move it or anything. It's just you manually move it in and out. And the hand, which I did not know before either, is able to be rotated 360 degrees. And it is rubberized, whereas the regular hands, hard plastic. And for some reason it's a very different detail on this arm as well. A good look at the side view of that arm, and a look at the back of the arm as well. Now we'll take a look at the head. A lot of deep details on this, and it looks really good. Well done there, Lego. Side view, the back, and then one final look at his, I don't know, partial smile, sort of. It looks kind of funny. And as for my final thoughts on this figure, yeah, another solid Galidor set. Has really good articulation, as per usual. Aside from his ankles, yeah, I mean, the little suction function, that's pretty cool. I do enjoy that. If you're able to get a hold of this figure somehow, I would definitely recommend it. Well, that about does it, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and thank you so much to all of you who have bared with me through all of these reviews. It's been very fun. It's been a blast, even, to get this content out there, and I'm so glad, and it really makes it worth it when I hear the feedback for this stuff. I appreciate you guys a whole lot, and I shall see you all in my next video. Have a great day, guys. Bye. It's feeding time.